There we go. All right. Math 335. What did we do on Tuesday that y'all hated? I know what we did. We did some more rational expressions, right? So let's do, and we did some harder ones. So let's get some practice in on rational expressions. Let's get you started off with some that multiply. So let's do let's see. What do we want to do with this one? All right. Try to simplify that. Not try, do. Do or do not. There is no try. Maybe we should work on setting up the next ones while you guys are working on that. Right? How's everyone on Zoom doing? I see a couple people still in class, still working, so I know that we're gonna get more time.
I'm good.
Still working on it, but
Yeah, the idea here, these are challenging. So I'd rather give you guys time to figure this stuff out, see what you can come up with. And then we'll work on them together. We won't have too many today. For the review section. Because they take time to work on. Next thing you know, Cindy's gonna have like 2 desks next to it occupied with stuff.
I'm sorry.
I don't care, there's plenty of room, you can knock yourself out. I just picture you go home and you're like, nope, you're not having dinner on the dinner table, this is my fucking workspace, I'm gonna work
That
here.
was me last night.
You thought this was a dinner table, no, it's the Sensi homework table.
My bedroom is now the second room. Because I took in too much space. So I moved this stuff. Second. It's all the board.
Wow. It's crazy.
Just to be sure, you're not like waiting on me, are you? All
No.
right, cool beans.
Everybody in here done? What'd you guys get? Yeah. Anybody want to tell me what they got for the final answer?
Okay. I got X plus 1. X plus 2, only parentheses.
On top?
Yeah.
Okay. I have no idea what it is. I tried to make this up in my head as I went, things, I tried to get things that canceled. So let's go ahead and factor and see what we end up with.
Okay.
If I factor this one, it looks like I could do X minus 6 and X plus 1. Now I'm gonna label them, I'm gonna call them A, B, C, and D. That way it's clear what I'm working on. This is A. I'm gonna let's multiply back out. It's X squared minus 6X plus X minus 6, and I do get the X squared minus 5X minus 6. So that's the correct factor there. On B, what do I need? I need two numbers that, yeah. And then you're gonna see more thing. Yeah. All right. I need two things that multiply to 12, positive 12, but add to a negative number, which means they both got to be negative. And they got to add to 8. So I got 4 and 3, those add to 7, 6 and 2 add to 8. This looks like it might be X minus 6, X minus 2. Let's give that work that out, make sure I got the right thing. And I do. Okay, that's a good factorization there. If I go with C, I need two numbers that multiply to a positive and add to a positive. So they're both positive. They're going to add to 6 and multiply to 8. It looks like 4 and 2. And finally, on bottom, make sure I have the right things. Okay. Multiply to a negative number, but add to a positive means one's positive, one's negative. The big one's positive, looking like X plus 4 and X minus 1. And I get X squared plus 3X minus 4. So that looks like that's correct. Now let's set it up, see what cancels. I am not as good at this as I thought I was. I thought more shit was gonna cancel. I was trying to make everything cancel, but that didn't work. I'm trying to do it in my head. Look at that. All right, so what cancels here? I see I've got an X minus 6 on both. And I've got an X plus 4 on both. So I do get that X plus 1 on top and that X plus 2 on top, like Sensi said. I also have an X minus 1 on bottom and an X minus 2 on bottom. Can I cancel those? They both got X's, but they both got X's and 1s. Can I cancel those, or can I cancel the X and 2s? No? Okay. So that looks like that's going to be our final form. Any questions on that? Am I already running out of time with you?
No,
Just check your watch after 15 minutes, guys. There's only 4 of you in here. I gotta heckle somebody. And Chris doesn't show up anymore. He just shows up on Zoom, so I can't pick on him. Because he says the closest.
I'm sick.
I made the right choice.
You. Yeah, but you guys get the same thing on Zoom? Did
Yeah,
Or is there any questions you guys have?
I definitely do have questions, but I think I'd rather just ask them later.
I think I'd rather you ask them now if they're related to this. Come on, Paxton. Hit me.
But shit, now I have anxiety. Wait, let me just come back to you later. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Put her on the spot. Never knew you to be shy. All right, let's kick it up a notch. What is this bullshit? Oh. That should be minus 2x. Don't forget with division, you eventually have to at some point flip that second fraction upside down. And make it multiplication. Yeah,
The X's. Separate sides of the multiplications.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
because when we put the multiplication together, they're all gonna make one big fraction bar, so they're effectively over each other. Excellent question. What'd you get?
Don't surprise me.
That's always fun.
I also told her I was small. But I don't know.
She surprised you on both.
Surprised me on both. Like, it's a little spicy, so I didn't put jalapeno on it. And then there's cheese, sausage, and egg.
Nice, where's it from?
Human being, like in the corner. Okay.
I didn't know they have like a jalapeno based one, that's kind of cool. I've been there at the human being once. You know, one time I went, it was like. Buy a specific size, get like a small free. I'm like, fuck, sweet, had no idea. Got one for me, got a different drink for my wife. I got the, it was like spicy mocha
Oh,
or some shit like that.
that's a really interesting thing there.
Yeah,
Mr. goes all the time. I rarely ever go.
it's expensive. Even more expensive than Starbucks, and Starbucks is fucking expensive. And I was like, God damn, you're more expensive than Starbucks? That's hard to do. I do like the nice touch of giving out a chocolate covered espresso, yeah.
I don't like those. I always don't know, and they gave me two this time.
Oh, those are awesome, those are the best. Oh, yeah. You have a couple of those right before, like, if you know you're gonna be awake for a while, like you got a long night of studying. Don't have them too late, because fucking a coffee bean. But you know, like if you're gonna, you know, you're gonna be up till 1 or 2, you have a couple like 6 or 7, and you'll have a little zip.
That's why I got this, because I was like, wait,
The only thing about them is that you get like the little flecks of like bean, but take a drink of something, it rinses your mouth out. Is everybody? Are you still working?
yeah, but I don't think I'm gonna get any further.
Okay,
I think I'm literally almost done.
okay, you're almost done. I will, you got some more time. Go.
So,
I'm sorry, I'm so slow.
No, no problem. The idea of this section is to like practice and then find out what you did wrong. This is more like a workshop thing than a lecture. Because it's the same material. I'm just making sure you got the skills to do it. So more practices.
And like part of it too, I actually think I'm realizing, I think I have dyslexia with like numbers.
who knows?
I think
Oh, that's rough.
yeah, so that's also why I have to take like extra time with stuff as well, I've noticed.
Oh, God. And I know I've seen you on cashier. That's scary.
No shit, Sherlock. No, you're not wrong. And if stuff know it, yeah, you're not wrong. I have to be very careful with stuff and just like, yeah, you're not wrong.
The cash register says, you know, $15 change. Here's 51.
No, I've
They're
literally
like,
done that
"Sweet."
before and I've had to like catch myself. It's yeah, it's scary, but no, I that's why I take my time and I'm really good with people and I just like talk to them a bunch and kind of yeah, never mind. It helps buy me time.
So to this day, I remember they were showing me like dots of like colors and they were like in each color. And I always would say green and pink. So I would want to say
Interesting.
green, but what comes out is orange. And it still happens to this day and then vice versa. So those two always, and then before it was really bad, so I would be like, I'm going to the chicken, but I was trying to say kitchen. Or
So
like,
yeah, you just got the wrong word linked to the wrong thing. It's
yeah.
hard to unlearn something. It really is.
And I remember one time I was like, oh, the couch store. And I was trying to say coach, like the purses. That was another one, super so. Those are not good, but the green and orange is still like stuff.
It's interesting because they look nothing alike.
Yeah,
It's not like orange and red or, you know, something like that.
yeah, like it's like, I know the difference. And I know it's green and it's orange, but like, if someone's like, oh, what color is this? I'd be like, oh, it's green, but it's orange. Like it'll like come out wrong, but my brain says the right one.
There's something in stats where I have to, like, when I look at it, it's completely opposite of what I want to say.
Mhm.
And I teach it that, I explain that when I'm like, to me, this looks like this. If it looks like this to you, just remember you got it wrong and go with the other one. Cause it like, yeah. And then another time that happens when you like learn the words to songs, but you haven't looked at any lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
So you're like, you fucked that shit up. Bad Moon Rising is an all rock and roll song. And it goes, part of the verses are, there's the bad moon on the right. And I always heard it as there's the bathroom on the right. I did, because I sing out loud a lot. And finally, someone pointed out, like, what did you say? I don't know why they're talking about the bathroom, but it's on the right. You're like, you didn't fucking catch the fact that the song is called Bad Moon, and that sounds a little bit like bathroom? Nope, oblivious. You'll like this, Paxton. I'm in a Discord group and it's international, and they were all like bringing up what languages they speak. So I said, I speak common,
That's great.
right? That's a D&D joke. All right, let's label these bad boys. And when I do the final assembly, I need to flip these. So I'm gonna just factor them first, make sure I got the right factorization where I got some space. I need two numbers that multiply at 21. There's not a lot of factors that do that. 7 and 3 jump to mind. 21 and 1 are the only combinations. They both got to be negative. It's like x minus 7 and x minus 3 work. On the bottom, maybe I should just practice doing this, make sure everyone gets comfortable doing this. You can always check your work.
Do you not worry about like the exponents on like with X and B, you just worry about like the numbers?
On B?
Yes.
This one, I like normally, I don't worry about it, but I see that this one has an X in it. In fact, they all have X's in it. And so that's a greatest common factor. I'm gonna actually start off pulling out an X first. And I'll have x squared minus 7x plus 12. If you don't, this is really hard. If you don't see that x, like how else do you do it when the rules have always been with an x squared?
You pull out an extra X, so there's
It's, if you notice, if we multiply back in, I get that, other than I wrote the wrong sign. I get what I started with. So, like if the whatever the smallest exponent is,
yeah.
like if this is x to the 5th and x to the 6th and x to the 7th, you can pull out an x to the 5th. As long as they all have an x, it's the lowest exponent on the x's come out. Okay, we'll look at a more complicated one in a second. I'm glad you asked. But we need to factor that some more. I just got done talking about ones that multiply to 12 and add to 7 a little bit ago. That's 4 and 3. I already showed the x works, so I'm just going to make sure that this part works. X squared minus 4x minus 3x plus 12. And I get x times x squared minus 7x plus 12. Good, I got B. C. Things that multiply to 35, negative 35. There's 7 and 5 or 1 and 35. There's not a lot of options there. 7 and 5 looks like it works. The bigger number's got to be negative, so I end up with a negative number here. But it doesn't matter how confident I am. I think it's a good idea to multiply back out, especially if you think you've got time, or like if you're taking a test and you get to the end of the test and you got extra time, go back and multiply that shit out and make sure you did it right. Because sometimes I'm absolutely certain that something is a certain way, and it's not. It's like I raced through it too quickly. This applies to anyone that's excessively confident. Minus 2x minus 35. Yes, that's what I got. And finally, these all have an x. So I can take out one x. And I'll multiply that back in just to make sure it works. And I got that, okay. So now I gotta factor this. Multiplies to negative 20, but adds to 1. The numbers have to be 1 apart. 4 and 5 work. So I'm going to have an x, I'm going to have a 4, I'm going to have a 5. The positive one has to be the bigger number so that I get a positive here. Okay, I got that line right there. So I got them all right. Let's reassemble them. A is x minus 7 over x, or not over, but times x minus 3. B had an x minus 4, and x minus 3. C goes on bottom. X minus 7 and x plus 5. And D goes on top. x times x minus 4 times x plus 5. So if I start canceling stuff, I've got those go away. Those go away. The x question, that is sends e. X minus 4's cancel. X plus 5's everything cancel. What do I have? I just have one left. It helps to write in the ones when you cancel, that way you see it. Often see students cross stuff out, and when there's nothing left, they didn't put 1 anywhere, so they just left 0. There's nothing left, that's 0. And that's not really what's happening. We're replacing it with 1. All right, one more. This will be one that has addition and subtraction. Started on another project. They are no longer employed, and so they have free will use their time as they want. Like employment somewhere else. You think just because they don't work for women, think just because they don't work for women anymore, that they should be employed? I didn't tailor this one at all, like the last one I tailored to make sure I got everything canceled. This one, I have no idea what it's gonna look like in sense, so I hope it's not too much of a clusterfuck. Okay, so how do we add and subtract fractions? Just make sure everyone's in the right pit. That looks like a bad sign right there, just a shrug. We want a common denominator, right? So what is the common denominator? Let's just figure it out before we start working ahead. Let's look at each denominator, and if we've got two things multiplied together, those are already factors, we could just leave them alone. So like this, if I call this A, B, and C. A has x minus 1 and x plus 2. B has just x minus 1. And C has x plus, let's just say minus 1. And C has x plus 2. So, like, if I pull down one from each row, it looks like x minus 1 and x plus 2, that is my lowest common denominator, or lowest bottom. So that's what I'm going for. And to get there, I need to fill in the holes. So I'm going to multiply B by what it's missing. B is missing x plus 2. So B is going to get x plus 2 on bottom and x plus 2 on top. And I'm going to put them in parentheses so I don't fuck that up. Because I'm pretty good at fucking things up. C's whole is x minus 1. So I'm going to multiply C by x minus 1 and x minus 1. The idea here is x minus 1 over x minus 1, those cancel. And so I'm just multiplying by 1. And I can multiply anything by 1 and not change its value. And that's the idea. We don't want to change the value. We just want to get it to something where we can compare and combine the two. So if I do that, now they all have a denominator of x minus 1 and x plus 2. And that means I can combine the tops. Oop, that should be a minus. So I didn't have anything multiplied by A. B has 3 times x plus 2. And C has 4x times x minus 1. So I'm gonna try to clean it up, see if anything cancels by getting rid of the parentheses on top. If I do that, I have to distribute. I've got 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times 2 is 6. And then I've got negative 4x times x is negative 4x squared. And I've got negative 4x times negative 1 is positive 4x. So if I group these together by common factors, common terms, I've got a negative 4x squared. That gives me that one. I've got an x, a 3x, and a 4x is 8x. And then I've got a plus 6. I can see right now they all have a common factor of 2 in them. So I'm going to pull that 2 out. And in fact, I'm going to pull out a negative 2 because like factoring with the negative in front of the x squared is just fucking hard for me. And so I'm going to take out a negative 2. And that's going to leave 2x squared there plus 4x plus 3. Ooh, not plus, minus. It changes the sign. When I pull out a negative sign, it changes the sign of everything on the inside. And does that factor? A times C is negative 6, B is negative 4. The only factors we have, one of them's got to be negative. I've got negative 6 times 1 would give me negative 5. Negative 3 times 2 gives me negative 1. So that doesn't actually factor. So I can leave it as is. I'm going to put the negative out front. But you could leave it up top. And that's our final answer there. Look at that. Only 1 minute left on the clock. Is there any questions? Yes.
So you want us to leave the bottom like that, we wouldn't like distribute.
You don't need to distribute.
Or would you take either answer on the?
No, if you distribute the bottom and make it x squared plus x minus 2, I'd be happy. I'd be fine with that.
And then overall, with this, you don't care how we get the answer as long as we get.
And I see some work to go along with it.
Yeah.
Like if you jump from here to here, I'm calling some bullshit.
Because on the last problem with the division and the multiplication, I didn't do the 8.
You had to have factored at some point.
I factored, but I think that's a check.
That's fine.
Okay,
So for that one, like write the factored things.
I write it off on.
That's fine. Well, you just didn't label them A, B, C, and D. If you wrote the factored thing, you still did it.
Yeah, I factored, but I didn't do all of that.
Did everything cancel?
Yeah,
Okay.
so literally that last line, like what you just are declaring now, that's all I have. What you just.
So you went from here to here.
Yes. Not to like, oh, you comment, that's my answer, like. Right there, all of that.
Like, that's a big jump. I don't know that you can get from here to here.
Like right there, we have like the. Okay, so.
Tell me when.
Okay,
Stop here. So you got to there?
yeah, kind of like on the last problem,
Okay.
but yeah.
You want to show me what you're talking about? Let me hit pause or stop this recording.